Okay, hello everyone. So Lara here, have another task 2 live stream. So what we do every Thursday at this time is we just take a task 2 question. You give me your ideas and I tell you if your ideas are appropriate or not, whether they're relevant, whether they're specific, and we look at how to develop those ideas. I'll also point out some vocab or grammar mistakes as I see them. So basically, the whole purpose of this lesson is to give you feedback on your work. So for those of you who know me, I'm sure you're familiar with this already. But for those of you who are new, I have already made lessons that outline how to do what you need to do in task 2. But that wasn't meant to rhyme. That was a mistake. But how to write a task 2 essay. So everything that's involved in how it's scored, how to improve your scores, how to respond to the various question types, how to construct your answer, what to include in your answer, all of that you will find in my complete task 2 guide. So there's a link there. I just shared this in the comments. So if you look at the comments, either on Facebook or YouTube, you'll find the links to those lessons. And for this, we're just focusing on your work. So I'm not teaching you what to do. I'm just telling you any mistakes that you have in your own response. Okay, we have a few people here already. Hi, Leo. Hi, Rupinder. Good to see you here. Sharon Preet is back. Sohib, welcome to the lesson. Hey, Maha. Kamika's here. Hi, Kamika. Good morning to you. Okay, so that's it. We're just going to go through a question and I'll give you feedback. So the first thing, I'm going to show you a question and I want you to write the paraphrase. So basically in the paraphrase, you're just rewriting the question statement, and where students will normally go wrong is it's either too far this side or too far that side. So the problem will be either you copy too many words from the question statement, so that's a problem. And the other problem is that you try so desperately not to copy any of the words from the question statement that the sentence doesn't communicate what it needs to communicate. So you want to be somewhere in the middle. If you need to use a few words, that's okay. Don't use too many words. The main objective is that your paraphrase has the same meaning as the question statement. So that's what I want you to do. So this here, some people say that online courses are the most beneficial, while others believe traditional classrooms are more advantageous. So rewrite that in your own words. Do not be afraid to copy words from the question if necessary. Hi, Madat. Good to see you here. And Fakrul is here. Hi, Fakrul. Good to see you here. Rupinder, good evening to you too. Hey, Moses. I have no idea what that means. Chiamba. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen from Angola. Very good. Nice picture of Bain there. Hi there. Nice to see you too, Facebook user. Your name isn't coming up, but you're very welcome to the lesson. Hi, Annie. And hi, Sanya. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Paraphrase of the question statement. And as you're writing it, just let me point out that the word some does not have the same meaning as the word most. Because every single live stream I've had from the beginning, that's the one mistake that students are constantly making. Some and most is not the same. I'm back. Thank you, Sharon Preet. Okay. You didn't miss anything important. Basically, what I was saying is, for those of you who haven't finished your paraphrase, I'm going to check Sharon Preet's. So you can continue and I'll check Sharon Preet's. That's what I said while I was on mute. I muted myself to take a drink of water and forgot to turn it back on again. Okay. Some people say that online classes are the most advantageous. Okay. While others think, so it's just a comma, not a semicolon. While others think offline classrooms are more better. Better means, the word better already has the meaning more in it. So we just say are better, not more better. So yeah, you've done a good job in that it clearly communicates the meaning. There's only that one mistake. Well, there's the punctuation mistake and then the more better, that mistake. So overall, you've done a good job there. Of course, you could potentially have used fewer words to improve on that further. But like I always say, it's better to copy words from the question than to write a paraphrase that doesn't have the same meaning. So this is, you've met the most basic requirements with this. So it is definitely acceptable. Any, Sanya, many, some and many doesn't have the same word, doesn't have the same meaning. So let's just say some feel that online education is better than traditional virtual classes. No, virtual would mean online as well, or it wouldn't even mean that virtual. No, so that virtual doesn't work. Virtual is wrong. Better than traditional classes would have been okay. So many feel that online education is better, or some feel that online education is better than traditional classes. Yeah. You spell classes incorrectly and you need a full stop at the end of that as well, Sanya. For Sharon Preet and Sanya and Sova, who've already shared your paraphrases, can you tell me how many main ideas do we need in our answer? Okay, so Sova, some argue that, so online classes, so it's plural classes, so we don't need the article. So articles is something that you can look at. Some argue that online classes benefits more, that online classes, you could say, have more benefits, while others say physical classrooms, that needs to be plural, are best. So what you need to look out for is plurals and articles. Those are the two grammar areas you can work on. Sharon Preet says 3 main ideas. Yes, very good. So this question is discuss both views and give your own opinion. So that is 3 ideas. We need 1 idea for the first view. So the first view being, some people say that online courses are the most beneficial. So 1 main idea. Why do people think that? Then the second view, others believe traditional classrooms are more advantageous. Why do people think that? So we have a main idea to support the first view, main idea to support the second view, and a main idea to support our opinion. So exactly right, Sharon Preet. We need 3 main ideas for this. But the way we're going to work it is, when we're giving our opinion, we're going to say, and I agree with the first view because, and then you'll have another main idea to support that. Or in our opinion, we could say, and I agree with the second view because, and you give your main idea. So essentially, you need 1 main idea for the side you disagree with, and 2 main ideas for the side you agree with. So that'll be 1 to support the view and 1 to support your opinion. Okay, so with that, let's move on to the next stage of the essay writing process and consider what main ideas can we use. Again, if you haven't finished writing your paraphrase first, that's fine. Write your paraphrase and share it. For the 3 of you who've already written your paraphrase, let's move forward. What main ideas can we use for this question? Several, no, several means a few. It would be a smaller group than some. Or some just mean, some is more like in contrast to all. So if I said everybody believes that online courses are the most beneficial, and you're like, no, not everyone. Some people believe it. So some and all are kind of like, none, some, all. They kind of go together. So several doesn't work. So let's say some individuals believe that online courses are the most beneficial, comma, whereas others think that traditional classrooms are more favorable. No, favorable doesn't work in this context. That doesn't suit it. That doesn't fit. It's the wrong meaning. Kamika, some individuals are of the opinion that online courses are more beneficial. You need a comma then, Kamika, comma, while others are of the belief that traditional face-to-face classrooms, face-to-face lessons are better. So face-to-face what? So that's just the adjective. You're just describing it. Face-to-face lessons, or that. Yeah, that would be it, because we wouldn't say face-to-face classrooms. Okay. Rupinder, people often argue that about the best way of classes. No. So first of all, there are grammatical mistakes. So I'm going to point those out first. People, that needs to be capital P, often argue about the best way of learning. But also the question didn't say that. So don't add extra things to your paraphrase. Just say what the question says. All you want to do is paraphrase just the exact same. You want the exact same meaning. Nothing extra, nothing less. So moving on. A few individuals, and no, a few isn't the same as some. A few individuals believed. Now you're talking about the past because you have a D on believed, but this is talking about now. So the question is saying present tense, so you need to follow that. Believe that online courses, that needs to be plural, are better, comma, whereas opponents is too strong. No, so just say other people say that conventional classrooms have more benefits. Yeah. So mainly, well, first of all, that first sentence isn't necessary, so you don't need to add extra information. And then you've got quite a few language mistakes with both vocab and grammar. Wait. Yeah, with vocab and grammar. So for you at the moment, Rupinder, focusing on improving your language ability, your vocab and your grammar would be your priority. And Titzer, good to see you here. It is said that you don't need a comma there. It is said that some people believed, so again, it's not past tense, it's present. So it is said that some people believe. Well, why say that it is said that some people? Just say some people. So just start with some people believe. Because if you're going to say it is said that, then you don't need to say that some people believe it. That either or. So it is said that online courses are more beneficial, or some people believe that online courses are more beneficial. So one or the other is fine, but not both. Comma, while others think. So this is, again, verbs are going to be something you need to work on. You made a mistake with the tense in believe, and now subject verb agreement. So others think without the S. So definitely tenses, subject verb agreement. So kind of, it seems like verbs in general you'll need to work on. While others think traditional classrooms are more advantageous. Okay, good. Sharon Preet, some believe that online courses are the most beneficial because students are able to save their time from traveling. Okay, good. Whereas others consider that physical courses are better because pupils can easily interact with each other for solving their doubts. Okay. I'm just making a note that they can easily interact. Good. In my opinion, so that should be a capital I support the second view as it allows to interact with the teacher face to face. I support the second view as it allows the students to interact with the teacher face to face. Good. Okay, that's really good, Sharon-Preet. So what Sharon-Preet has there is 3 main ideas, which is exactly what we need. All 3 ideas are relevant and specific. So at this point, Sharon-Preet has got a band 6 for task achievement, and that's not coming down. That can only get better. Now, to get a higher score from this point in the body paragraphs, Sharon-Preet will need to explain why that's the case. We'll need to explain how it works, give examples of that. But already, just having written the paraphrase and 2 sentences, so 3 sentences in just the first paragraph finished, Sharon-Preet already has a band 6 for task achievement. So really, really important that you get those main ideas right. And if for some reason one of those ideas was irrelevant, then Sharon-Preet would end up with a band 5. And unlikely that Sharon-Preet could recover from that in the body paragraphs. So it's really, really important to get those main ideas, all of them being relevant and specific. So good job there, Sharon-Preet. Mohammadi, thank you. Sova, although traditional classrooms are best in terms of concentration, I believe that online classes are better for busy schedule and help students for getting higher attendance. Okay, so is that 2 ideas or 1 idea? It's better for a busy schedule, so that's vague. Why is it better for a busy schedule? You need to say that. And then and help students for getting higher attendance. So it sounds like this is 1 idea. And the other thing then, Sova, is that you need to discuss both views, but the way you've written it, you kind of have, but not directly. So you've discussed 1 view and your opinion. But if we just go back to the way Sova did it, Sova said, some people believe this, so that's the first view, whereas others consider that physical courses are better because, so that's the second view, and then comes back in again, in my opinion, I support the second view as, so you can see the difference there, not just giving 2 reasons for your opinion, but 1 for the first view, 1 for the second view. Even though you agree with the second view, you keep it separate. So you don't say, I agree with the second view, so I'm just going to describe it as my opinion with 2 main ideas. Keep them separate. You've been asked to discuss both views, so do those independently of your opinion, and then you come back in with your opinion later. So based on what you've written, A, you've left out 1 of the views. B, that idea, busy schedule, it seems to be the same thing as highest attendance, and it's either the same idea explained, or it's not appropriate anyway. So you'll definitely need another idea to replace the busy schedule part. Okay, hello there. Some individuals claim that online courses are the most useful way. You have to finish that useful way, and then it has to be way to do something. While others see that the normal virtual way is much more beneficial. The normal virtual, no. So virtual, that word is used incorrectly there. Hey, Maravik, good to see you here. Is this free course? This is free lesson. Free lesson, yeah. I wouldn't describe it as a course, but yeah, get involved, Labish. Get involved, share your ideas, and I'll give you feedback. Maha, first idea. Online courses are considered to be the most beneficial, are considered to be more beneficial than the traditional classrooms because students can attend classrooms from their homes. Okay, so that's one idea. Good. Okay, Facebook user. I believe online courses are more beneficial in a sense that in this sense that courses has to match the preposition, the pronoun you use, so they save time and are stress free. Stress free is too vague. Stress free is too vague. Why are they stress free? So there has to be something that's creating less stress. Oh, this is coming. This is because one doesn't have to commute from home to university. Okay, so just say it saves time and well, I'm not sure what is this supposed to be the outline statement? I'm a bit confused about this. Is this is this your body paragraph? So this is starting to look like body paragraph 3. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. One doesn't have to commute from home to university, the time one spends on traveling, and it's very stressful while one studies online. You don't have to go through the stress for traveling. I would say just go with one of those because you're in both cases you're talking about you don't have to travel. So even I'd say even just choose the main idea instead of saying it saves time. Just say you don't have to travel. Use that as your main idea, and then you can develop it with. You could talk about it saving time and being less stressful, but you not coming forward with saving time as the main idea and then talking about stress, and then it would be better just to focus on one thing. Mohammed Saliman. Good. Thanks, Mohammed. Sanya, traditional classrooms are more beneficial as they provide direct interaction with the teacher and provide more interactive session with classmates. So I think they provide more interaction with the teacher and more interaction with the classmates. So provide more interactive session doesn't make as much sense. It doesn't go together. Did sir In the time of pandemic, many have switched to the digital world. For instance, classes are now conducted virtually, wherein it is more flexible than the traditional teaching. So, it doesn't really matter what people are doing. What people are doing doesn't make it good or bad. So you have to explain why it's better. So you have to lead with it's more flexible, but then more flexible is too vague, is the problem. So no, yeah. So if you go back to the comments at the top of this live stream, I shared a complete guide to task 2. So it seems less that it's not, this isn't about your language ability. This is about you haven't learned how to write a task 2 essay. So if you scroll up, look at those lessons that I shared, you'll have a better understanding of what to write in your answer. Hey, Big B, good to see you here. It is believed that courses on the internet are more beneficial than attending the direct class. Direct class isn't right. Okay, so when you're going from, when you use while, so you're talking about the first belief and then you're saying, and others, while others support this, but you have to use the word some. So it is believed by some that while others support the opposite opinion. Okay. Yeah, Labish, just get involved, share your ideas. Yeah, get involved, Labish. So I do these every week. I have live streams on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I have live feedback lessons on Zoom as well. Let me share that with you. So on Zoom, so they're group classes as well. I'll just show you here. So if you click on this, free live feedback lessons on Zoom. So those are speaking task 1, task 2 on Zoom every week as well for my subscribers. So you can click on that link, sign up, and more feedback for you there. And I also have one-on-one correction services, which you can also find there. And I also have a course, but I've only a small number of, I probably have space for 1 or 2 people on my course at the moment. If anyone's interested, actually, can you just put I'm interested in the comments? I'm not opening up the course, but I could take on 1 or 2 students at the moment. So just say I'm interested if you are. Okay, so I lost my place now. Just give me one moment. So that was Labish. Sharon Preet, good. Sharon Preet's happy with that response, I'm sure. Labish, yes, these live streams are free. So good. Titsur, very welcome. Annie, some argue that online learning is much better, while others disagree and say having lessons in a classroom is more beneficial. Okay, this is really good. You need a capital S for some at the very start, and you've done a really good job outside of that. Labish. It is. Hey, Dahlia. Good to see you. Good to see you back here. Did you do your test yet, Dahlia? Did you get a chance to do the test yet? Some people say that online courses outweigh conventional classes, while some say the opposite. Outweigh isn't clear here. It doesn't have a specific enough meaning. So you'd have to use something else there. More beneficial if you just copied what was in the question or said are more beneficial than conventional classes. And then you need a full stop at the end of the sentence as well. Hi, Kazim. Welcome to the lesson. Soahib. Okay, some believe that online teaching is more helpful than the traditional method of teaching. For me, I think so. According to my own experience, lots of other people's opinion online lessons can be beneficial for lots of other people's opinion is that online lessons can be beneficial for much more people living in different places around the world. You don't have a space before the comma. In the other side, traditional classroom cannot be useful for more than 30 persons at most. Just say people. Persons is technically correct, but very rarely used. We would very, I only ever remember seeing persons on an elevator, the inside of an elevator. That's not very common. So what are your main ideas here? They're beneficial for people living in different countries. That's vague in that why is it beneficial for people in different countries? So you're saying who it's beneficial for, but you're not saying how it's beneficial. So that idea is too vague. On the other side, traditional classroom cannot be useful for more than 30 people at most. So again, are you saying does that mean that an online lesson can be beneficial for 30 people or more than 30 people, but an offline lesson is kind of 30 is the most? Not very clear. So the first one is definitely vague, and the second one could be clear. I think they're both a bit vague, really. Mohammadi. Some people feel that online courses are more than good compared with traditional courses. So just they are better. Just use better. They are better than traditional courses. Full stop. Online courses are cheaper than traditional courses. It is very good for our. So you're having a problem with the limit of the YouTube comments by the looks of it, the character limit. Okay, so based on what you have, they're cheaper. That's a good main idea, or that's an appropriate main idea. Your punctuation, so you need a capital letter at the start of each sentence. You need a space after a comma, so your punctuation is a problem. And punctuation isn't very complicated, in that there aren't a lot of rules you need to learn. So punctuation is definitely something you could work on. And then just share the rest of your ideas when you're ready. Okay, I'm going to stop for a moment. All right, I'm going to stop for a moment. So let me just get a marker there. Mohammadi. Okay, so main ideas. Sorry, I just need to write down that just really quickly, or I'm going to forget. Okay, main ideas, obviously very important. You need to have 3 main ideas. They all need to be specific, and they all need to be relevant. The way it works then, so what we've just looked at so far is the introduction. So we're 30 minutes into the lesson, so I want to move on. So basically, and I will check everyone else's comments. I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm just going to move forward with the lesson, and then I'll come back and continue giving feedback. So we have our paraphrase, we have our outline with the 3 main ideas. The 3 main ideas are specific and relevant. Now, Sharonpreet shared 3 main ideas already. I wrote them down, so we're going to use those. So what I want you to do next, choose one of them. I'm going to write down the 3 main ideas on the screen, and I want you to take one of Sharonpreet. Don't take your own idea. Look at Sharonpreet's 3 ideas, see which one you like best, take it, and then say, how can we develop this idea? So you choose one of the 3 ideas that Sharonpreet came up with, and you tell me, how can we develop whichever idea you choose to develop. Like I said, I'm going to continue giving feedback on the other stuff, but those ideas were online courses are better because will save time traveling, and offline courses better because students another and then the last one was students can easily interact with the teacher. Okay, so let me just make these a little bit smaller so we can see them all together. Okay, that should be good. If you can't see that, let me know, but I think you should be able to see all of that. So that's what I want you to do. Do you know what? I'll number them so you can just write down the number of the idea you've chosen. Then I'll be able to follow what you're saying more easily. Okay, choose one of those and tell me, how can you develop the idea that you've chosen? Okay, and then I'll get back into giving feedback. Okay, Medat. Online courses are said to be the most useful, however, others. So again, if you want to go while others, It has to be some and others. Those two have to go together when you use that structure. And you spelled online incorrectly. Others think common ways of teaching are more crucial. Common ways of teaching is too vague. That doesn't necessarily mean in a traditional classroom. And then are more crucial. Crucial? No, it doesn't mean important, or it doesn't mean beneficial or advantageous. No, it doesn't have the same meaning. So then the next sentence needs to start with a capital T for this. This essay will discuss both of these views. No, that's not how to write an outline statement. So I'm going to go back to Sharon Preet and just point that out again. Madat, if you joined a little bit late, you might want to watch the recording of this. So when we finish up here, you'll have the recording. And Sharon Preet essentially wrote a perfect outline statement. So that's the perfect example to work off of. Big B, while there are some who believe that courses on the internet are the most fruitful, no, it kind of means that, no, it doesn't have it's not the same meaning. It's similar, it's not the same. Others support the idea that direct classes, again, no, direct classes doesn't have the same meaning, are more beneficial. Okay, so fruitful and direct classes, those are your mistakes. So both vocab mistakes. Although equally strong arguments can be seen on both sides, I agree with the latter view. And again, that's not really the best way, because you could write this like, let's say if I gave you this, if I gave you a question without the question statement, you could write this. You just see discuss both views and give your own opinion. You go, okay, I'm going to write this in my essay. It doesn't show any understanding of the question. It doesn't show any ability to construct a sentence. So don't use that type of a sentence where it doesn't really incorporate what the question is about. Those aren't helpful for your score, and the examiner will not. They'll pretty much discount that. They won't use that to help your score. They won't use that to factor into your score. Hi Latif, how are you doing? Welcome to the lesson. Latif, I just joined you. Where are you people? Introduction or body paragraphs? We are on body paragraphs essentially. So pick one of the three ideas off the screen. So numbers 1, 2, 3. Take one of them and then tell me how you would develop that. Hi Afat, good to see you here again. Maha. Second idea, others believe that traditional classrooms are better because students and teachers can have direct interactions without any distraction from family members. Good. Good. As long as they put their phones on mute, then yeah, but that's perfect. As a main idea, yeah, that's perfect. Maravik, you're interested? Perfect. I'll give you a shout later on. Lorato, welcome to the lesson. Kazim, some feel that virtual doesn't have the same meaning as online. Virtual is different. So virtual is like a make-believe world created in, like a digital world. So a virtual classroom isn't, metaverse, that new Facebook thing, metaverse, that's more what we would think of as virtual, like a world created inside of a computer. So that's more virtual, whereas online is just using online technology. It's not like you're walking into a computer generated classroom. It's not that sophisticated. So when we talk about virtual stuff, it tends to be more technology that doesn't really exist yet. But that metaverse thing, that would be a virtual world. So that's more what we would think about when we talk about virtual, like that. Are more beneficial because courses can be attended at the comfort in the comfort of your home. Home would be more appropriate. Comma, while others believe that physical classes are more advantageous because students can Share the rest of your comment when you get a chance there, Kazim, and I'll have more feedback for you. I don't know. Good discussion. I say, is it okay? Oh, Mohammedi, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're talking about. Are you talking about the rest of your comment disappearing? That's what I have. So from here, and then the next comment from you is here and here. So YouTube limits the comments to like 200 characters or something, but it will tell you there's an indicator, a little oh my god, I can't think of the word, but like a little indicator, like it says how many characters you've used, and there's like it says if you've gone over, but I don't think you can post on if you've gone over. But I didn't see the rest of your comment anyway. Sir, can I have rule of punctuation in PDF at your site? No, I don't have grammar lessons. I'm just teaching IELTS. But I have a grammar guide that would definitely help you. Let me get it for you there now. One moment now, if that. Okay, here we go. So I just shared this, and it's just sharing here. So this grammar strategy. So click on that link, and then there isn't a specific instruction on how to improve punctuation, but there's a strategy on how to improve grammar and a list of reliable resources. So you'll find everything you need there. Maha. I believe that traditional classrooms are more beneficial because students can concentrate on the lessons carefully. Good, so better concentration. Somehow, several people think that hybrid lessons have a lot of merits, while others, hybrid doesn't mean online lessons, so you can't use that, Dahlia. While others are still fixed with face-to-face classes. Being fixed to something doesn't mean that you think it's better, though. Online courses are much easier. That's too vague, and safer. That's also too vague. So what about them is easier, and what about them is safer? Mohammedi, you're very welcome. No problem. Suniza. Online courses are better because through that traffic issue will be solved. Because, okay, online courses are better because they do not require the students to sit in traffic. And offline classes are better because students pay more attention. Good. So what we need from there is another idea to support your opinion. So in your opinion, you're going to say, I support the first opinion, I support the first view, or I support the second view. And then you will say, give a reason for that as well. Okay, Kamika. Online courses are beneficial since they can be done at one's own time and schedule. Good. Whereas face-to-face learning requires more commitment, example, time and finances. So that's two ideas. But also you already talked about time for the first one. So you could just say money. Just say money. But then the problem here is online courses are beneficial since they can be done at one's own time and schedule. So online is better because it takes less time. Face-to-face learning requires more commitment time. So you need one idea to say why online is better and one to say why offline is better. So you've said more commitment. So you've given basically all of those ideas are why online are better. So you haven't supported the second view. In my opinion, online courses serve individuals better, where they create their own schedules and function effectively. So I'm not sure what you mean by function effectively, but you said create their own schedules, but that's the same idea that you used in the to support the first view. So you need a different idea. You can't use the same idea for the view and your opinion. So just be careful with that as well. Some individuals believe that online courses are the best way to educate students, while others claim that although online courses have revolutionized our lives, the traditional face-to-face method remains more beneficial for them. Now, you've kind of added some extra information, but you haven't given the reason why it's more beneficial. You said it revolutionized their lives. Well, in what way? And you've talked about online classes before in both clauses. So you said, I believe some believe that online classes are the best way, while others claim, oh, sorry, I'm wrong. Traditional face-to-face remains best. So yeah, you need a main idea for the second why traditional classrooms are better. I think the benefits of the traditional method outweigh the online courses. Okay, so well written, but you haven't included a main idea for the second view, and you haven't included a main idea for your opinion. So you've included, oh, and you haven't, no, sorry, you haven't included any main ideas. Some individuals believe that online courses are the best way to educate students. So no, you're very well written. I mean, you've got a good language ability, but you haven't put in any main ideas. So you're going to have to be more careful with that. Okay. Amity, when am I doing speaking? I have a speaking on Tuesdays. So my live feedback lessons, I have a speaking live feedback lesson. Those are my free lessons on Zoom. I have those on a Tuesday, and then on later on the Tuesday, I have a YouTube and Facebook live stream. So Tuesday is the day for speaking. So if you haven't already signed up for my live feedback lessons, you should go ahead and do that. I also have a task 2 live feedback lesson tomorrow. So get involved there, and I'll have more support for you on top of these live streams. Annie, this essay agrees that having lessons on the internet benefits more students compared to classroom learning. And then again, you need the main idea. You need to say why. Rupinder, offline courses are better because students actually interact with teachers and get familiar and can concentrate on lectures without any disturbance. So how many main ideas is that, Rupinder? Offline courses are better because students actually interact with teachers. So they interact with teachers, get familiar with the teachers too, and can concentrate on the lecture without disturbance. So that's 3 main ideas. So what sentence is this? So this doesn't, whatever sentence this is, it doesn't, what you've written doesn't belong anywhere in the essay. So it wouldn't be an outline statement because you should only have one main idea for each view and a main idea for your own opinion. It couldn't be a body paragraph because you should only discuss one main idea in a body paragraph. So you've done a lot of things well in that you're generating ideas, they're specific, they're relevant, but you're not placing them in the essay correctly. If we use your, our, my, should we? If it's appropriate. If it's appropriate, you can, yeah. Sharon Preet, online class. Okay, so we've moved on. Sharon Preet has brought us to the body paragraph. So we're talking about one of the main ideas on the screen and how we would develop that. Okay, online classes are good as students are able to save their time, especially for traveling. In other words, you got a capital letter mistake there. In other words, in offline classes, pupils have to go to their lectures in terms of attendance, which consumes more time by commuting. For example, these days, that should be 2 words, Sharonpreet. For example, these days, due to the digital era, my siblings are attending online courses that are extremely helpful for them for saving their time, as they have no need to go anywhere. They can easily study at their homes without any distractions of traveling. Good. So it's no. Yes. But the distractions thing is a bit confusing because you're talking about saving time and then you put in distractions at the end. So that seemed a bit out of place. Okay. So Ahib, there are different options about which way is the most helpful, the online teaching or the traditional classroom. There's no need to say that. That doesn't belong in the essay. Just it's not going to harm your score, but you've got a limited amount of time. So just write the things that will help to improve your score. That first sentence won't do anything to help. I think the online ones are the best in terms of comfort and availability of courses for those who are absent, the number of people who can benefit from these courses. So that the wording there isn't very clear. It seems like you're trying to say a few different things. The number of people who can benefit from these courses. So you're saying they can study from the comfort of their own homes. There's more availability for those who are absent. Is that like with an online class you don't miss a lesson, whereas with an offline class you if you don't go you lose out? Is that what you mean? The number of people can benefit. So it seems like those are 4 ideas. So when you're planning your essay, you need to be more careful and just choose the specific ideas that you want to develop. Okay, so there are quite a few left here, and I do want everyone to get feedback. So I'm going to go a little bit faster through the ones that are left here. Okay, Sova. People attending online classes can perform 2 tasks at a time. They can study and travel at the same time. For example, many students due to COVID are studying through online courses, so it's easy for them to join classes while they are moving to their duty. I don't know why they're traveling. What does moving to their duty mean? I'm not sure what that means, Sova. So all in, I'm just not sure what you mean. No, I'm not clear. So is it like you're saying because of COVID that they have to stay at home, but then you're saying they're staying at home and they're traveling, but where are they going if they're studying at home? I'm just not clear what you're going for. Perfect. There's still time to get involved here, Shamba. Saving time nowadays is more remarkable for most students, even if it is a bit little useful to attending face to face. So this is too vague. You haven't really said anything yet, Medhat. As most places are overcrowded, so online courses outweigh attending physically. So more remarkable, that's too vague. A little bit useful, that's too vague. So you haven't really said what you're thinking. You've just kind of alluded to an idea. You haven't said anything. Most places are overcrowded. So overcrowded, so is this a problem? Is this something we want to avoid? We don't want to be in overcrowded classrooms. But you need to say that it's not very clear from that, Medhat. Facebook user, online courses are better because people save time traveling. Some students have to travel long distances in order to reach their designated universities, which is a total waste of time. That's a little bit, that's too vague. It makes sense and it's accurate, but sorry. I said vague. I meant to say informal. A total waste of time is too informal. a waste of time would have been fine. Which is a waste of time. Which wastes time. There, that's the best one. That's the more formal version. So which wastes time and is tiring. Yet if one attends an online course, they save plenty of time to do other things. For example, they can complete their homework before the lectures commence. Good. Kamika, you're very welcome. Dalia, online courses are better because people save time traveling, especially they don't have to use buses or train trips. So there are many merits, like it would be easier to study from home, also reduce time wasting and have all the materials around them. So too much repetition here. For example, in Iraq, Baghdad, if students have to study in Al-Karkh side, they should leave at least 1 hour before the class to attend the class because of the traffic peak hours. That's still even on the night hours. Because of the traffic peak hours. Because of the traffic. Just say because of the traffic is clearer. I'm not really. I know what you're getting at, but the vocabulary isn't clear for the rest of that sentence. So if you just put a full stop after traffic and remove the rest, that would be much clearer. Some people think that an online course is useful enough because it is available at any time, and there are a variety of sites that can specifically identify their needs. But some believe that traditional classes will increase their focus, so they prefer it to online classes. Yeah, just that bit at the end isn't accurate, but that's actually well written there. Sunisa, online education is flexible and adaptable since one can study at any time, even at midnight. It can help increase the grades of some people as compared to standard traditional education. Some people learn more through online education. So this is too many ideas, Sunisa. So it's flexible and adaptable. You can study at any time, increase the grades, and some people learn more. So that's 4 ideas where you need to be more focused and just develop one idea. Depending on where you are in the essay, if you're still in the introduction, but you need to phrase it in that one main idea for each view, one main idea for your opinion, or if it is a body paragraph, it just needs to focus on one of the ideas. So you shouldn't have too many. Facebook user. There are some who argue that online courses are beneficial, while others say that conventional methods of conducting classes has more merits. That the conventional method of conducting classes has more merits. Although online courses save time, I believe that traditional classes impart more knowledge to students as they provide conducive environment for delivering classes. So that's a bit vague as well. What does that mean, a conducive environment for delivering classes? So what is it about? What is it specifically? So that idea is too vague. And that is the last comment. Got right through to the end of them. Good. Oh, here's Big B. Students who participate in online courses can choose the time or place in accordance to their schedules. Good. You can join any classes you desire, regardless of where you are or what time it is. So that is 2 main ideas, and they're both appropriate, but just be aware that it is 2 and not 1. Online courses are better. So online courses are better because students can easily interact with teachers. This means that those learners who can't openly participate will be able to take part. Good. For instance, it's hard for me to ask, didn't get that. Something that nobody has mentioned, and something from my experience of studying, I mean, when I'm a teacher in a classroom, I'm happy to answer any questions I get. But my own experience of being in a classroom when I was studying Vietnamese and studying languages is
a lot of the time goes to the other students who don't understand the things that I already understand. That's my biggest frustration of offline classes. You're in a class of 12 students, the teacher's trying to teach something, and there's one person that doesn't understand, and everyone has to sit around and wait for that one person. And then the lesson's over after an hour and a half or 2 hours, and then it's like, okay, it's over, we're done. You have to wait till the next lesson. So my main thing was, like, traditional classrooms are pretty like, you save time. You're all talking about save time driving to the class, but I think actually inside the class you lose a lot of time as well, because you're sharing your time with the teacher. You don't really get that much time with them. That was my experience anyway. I always felt like offline classes, you're spending a lot of your time is someone else's time. But that maybe other people, it's the interaction. People like interacting with the other students. But that was always my thing, was, if I already understand, why do I have to wait for this guy to sort himself out? I don't know. Maybe that's been selfish, but that was always my take on it. Okay. Big B. Besides, students who choose online classes can avoid the threat of COVID-19 nowadays. Good. Yep, that's relevant. In the light of COVID-19, many traditional classes are shut down, thus learning on the internet is the best way. No, because that's a different scenario. So in this, it's like, the way you said it here, offline classes are better because you're not worried about getting sick. But if you're saying there are no offline classes, that doesn't mean that online classes are better. Just because, if people don't have a choice, that does not make the only option better than the one they cannot choose. It's like, you can live in a small house or a beautiful palace. Well, I can never live in a beautiful palace. I don't have the money. That doesn't mean that the beautiful palace isn't better than the small house. It just means I don't have that choice. So, it doesn't mean my lack of choice makes it better. So you can't use that as the reasoning. Sinisa, in the traditional classroom environment, the individual assignments can sometimes be hard and you need help from the teacher. I don't see how that, if I just deleted the word traditional and put in the word online, it would equally make sense. So I don't see how that necessarily applies to traditional and not to offline, and not to online. Sinisa, to use modern technologies while studying, so that was a spelling mistake there, at the same time to develop skills that could later used at work. So you get the added benefit of better understanding how to use technology. That makes sense. Yep. Okay, I'm going to finish it up with that essay for now. I am happy to stay online if anybody has any questions about IELTS in general, or any questions that they want to ask. I'm just going to share my live feedback lessons with you guys again. Like I was saying, those live feedback lessons are free. They're on Zoom, but you do need to subscribe for those. One-on-one IELTS support. So I have essay corrections, and like I was saying earlier, I also have 1 or 2 places. I have time to take on 1 or 2 students on my writing course as well. So if you're interested in that, you can sign up there. Sinisa, got your test tomorrow. Best of luck. Go get them. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to go over with you. We've made good progress through that question. But the thing as well is, if I'm pointing out, if you've made a mistake and I've pointed out your mistake, don't just go, oh, I was wrong. Look at the mistake you made and go, okay, this is the type of mistake that I make. I need to be more careful not to repeat that mistake. So you have to learn from your mistakes. You have to improve based on, obviously you shared it with me. You thought it was correct. So now you know that there is a specific problem where, your ideas are too vague, or you're making punctuation mistakes or whatever it is. Doesn't seem like anyone else has any questions. If not, we'll just finish up there. Yeah. And if you're already subscribed, I'll see you in the live feedback lesson tomorrow. If you haven't, sign up now, and I'll be back next week with more live streams as well. Okay, we got one more here. Loretto. Some people believe that online courses are advantageous because they are cheaper, and then you need the comma, whereas offline courses are expensive in terms of money and time incurred. So if you want to talk about cheaper for one side, you cannot say more expensive for the other, because that's the same idea. So to say online courses are cheaper, that implies that offline courses are more expensive. So that in itself is the same idea. So talking about time, that's fine. So you could, but no, because now what you've done, no. Sorry, give me a second here now. So you've said something you need to say something that's good about online and something that's good about offline. But what you've done is you've said something that's good about online and something that's bad about offline. So that's essentially two things that are good for online. So no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. So it has to be something that's good about each, because the view is, I think online is better, and the other group is, I think offline is better. So you need one main idea to support each of those ideas. You're very welcome. Online courses are more flexible in terms of schedule for both workers and students. Good. They are also available all the time for those who cannot be on time. Good. More number of people can benefit from these online courses compared to the traditional courses, when we can't have them more than 25 students at most in the classroom. Yeah. I would say honestly though, like with an online course, can an online course, I mean, I've been teaching online for 5 years, and I think, like, if you're in a classroom with multiple people, from my own experience, I would say a traditional classroom is probably better for if you're in a classroom with other people. And online is better for one-to-one. I think there are a lot of benefits for online classrooms, for online learning, and a lot of it is like the time saved, not having to share the teacher with anyone else. But with the multiple people in the classroom, the dynamic is quite tricky with online, whereas with offline it's easier. So my personal take, it doesn't matter what I think, but I just feel offline for group classes, online for one-on-one individual classes would be my take. But then again, that's from my side. I mean, you've probably experienced both sides yourselves. But 25 students in an online classroom, I just think that would be, yeah. Anyway, if at my one, please. I think I did already, didn't I? Oh. I missed it. Online classes are beneficial for some people because they can afford to put the online accessories. Online classes are beneficial for some people because they can afford to buy the online accessories such as laptops and internet at the same time. However, traditional study not only provides interaction with teacher but also classmates. So I don't know what you're saying about buying the laptops and the internet because they can afford. So are you trying to say online classes are not beneficial for everyone because they cannot afford to buy a laptop and the internet. So that would be a benefit of offline classrooms, right? So it would be offline classrooms are better because you don't have to buy a laptop and the internet. So it wouldn't be, it doesn't support why online classes are better. Hey, Jervin and Georgina, whatever that is. Okay, that looks like that's everyone. Yep. So let's leave it at that. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions. I can get back to you later. And yep, see you in the live feedback lessons tomorrow or in the live streams next week. Okay, take care of yourselves, everyone.